So I know it's been a couple days and everybody wants to forget and act like it never happened, at least if you're a Democrat or liberal. But I've been having this nagging question in my head. And the more I look, I see that nobody, at least not a whole lot of people that I see, have actually been asking the question. And that's why isn't the father of the shooter, Thomas Crooks, being looked into even more or being investigated? No, I'm not accusing him directly of being involved, but when you follow the evidence that they've given us, and we know we can't trust the FBI, and you start trying to piece that information together, or at least the information that we have, I mean, there's a few questions, and I feel that we need answers to these questions because it could either eliminate or treat Thomas Matthew Crook's father as a suspect. So let's let's talk about what we know, or what I know so far. The shooter, Thomas Crooks, has known social media footprints. We don't know a lot about him online or in person. The father owned and loaned his son the gun that was used to shoot Donald Trump. He said he believed he was going to the shooting range that he belonged to. I forgot what it was called, the Sportsman Club or something there in their town. The father also told CNN after the attack that he was trying to figure out what the hell is going on, but that he would wait for law enforcement in order to give further commentary or further more information. Because his son was late returning home from the shooting range, his dad decided to call the police. His first instinct was to call the police and report both his son and the gun missing. And then later on, the FBI reported that they found bomb material not only in the son's car, but also in his dad's home. They called it rudimentary, meaning basic material, but still, they found this bomb material both in the car, on his person, and at home. I think they found a remote detonator in his person, and they believe that his plan was to maybe blow up the car to create a distraction. I don't know. Mark Crooks, who was contacted by the Daily Mail and is the uncle of the shooter, said he had not seen his nephew or his parents in several years. He said that they were very private and reserved. Ironically, Thomas Crook's classmates, we don't know who, at least not right now, we don't know if he had any actual friends, but Thomas Crook's classmates also said that he was a very private and reserved individual. And the last thing that we know that I just found out and kind of helped me to nag my brain and kind of put these pieces together in a good way or a bad way, I will let you guys help me with that later on. But both of Thomas's parents were counselors with degrees, and Thomas's father was employed by a mental health care company, at least as it was listed. They found that it was listed on LinkedIn. I also believe that someone contacted the mental health care company and they refused to comment on the questioning and stuff like that. So with the information that we have, what questions would we naturally want answers to when piecing these puzzles together behind like motive and if anyone else was involved? So, question number one: why would his father loan the gun to his son and then tell CNN that he was trying to figure out what the hell was going on if he had already called the police to report both his son and the gun, which he owned legally, as missing? Question two: as a father, why would your first instinct after seeing the attack on TV be to call the police and report your son and the gun missing? Did he even at least call his son first to make sure he was okay? If I trusted my son and I had no reason to believe that he would intentionally go to do someone violence, why would my first instinct wouldn't be to call the cops? I'm going to make sure my son is okay. Say, hey, something happened to the president. I just wanted to make sure you're okay. I wanted to see where you were at. But we have no information to even suggest that anything like that happened, just that he called to report his son and the gun missing. Last I know some people because of the way I grew up that would, if they wanted to collect the insurance or on their car, would report the car stolen after whoever they paid to steal the car and destroy the car did what they were supposed to. Just throwing that out there. Question number 3. Also, as a father, where did your son learn how to create the bomb? How was he able to create one or even just leave bomb material in your home without you, as a parent, being the least bit suspicious that something wasn't right with your kid? Which leads me into question number 4. So both the shooter's uncle and his classmates all said that the shooter, Thomas Crooks, was a reserved and or private person. So hypothetically, if the FBI investigated a popular YouTube channel called, I think it was called Demolition Ranch, because of a shirt that the shooter was found in after he was unalived, wouldn't they also know if there was history on his computer or on his phone of any bomb site or something that he had visited to learn how to create a bomb? Wouldn't they have also reported, like, we know that this is where he was going to learn how to create something, to learn something about a bomb? But they didn't do that. And if they couldn't find any online evidence or any evidence whatsoever to let them know how he was able to learn about creating a bomb at such a young age, then the next question becomes, how did he learn how to create a bomb? In a private and reserved environment, who had the most time and access to help him to learn something he could not have learned on his own? Which leads me to my last question. If the shooter had no known motive or reason to make an assassination attempt on Donald Trump's life, where did he get the idea or strategy at such a young age? One could guess that it was taught or groomed or even indoctrinated into him. And if that was the case, who would be the perfect candidate or suspect to do this in a private and reserved environment? Someone he loved and trusted? Check. Someone who could easily manipulate him mentally? Someone like who had a degree in counseling and worked for a mental health care company? Check. Definitely someone who had all the time and access to help him create a plan without anyone else ever knowing about it? Check. And let's not forget who actually owned the gun: the father. So again, these are not accusations. These are questions that have been nagging at me for days now that, in my own opinion, feel we deserve answers to. These are questions to me that would naturally come to mind to anyone who's following the evidence that is currently being made available, especially when the FBI and no other agencies are providing us with any real information. But I'm a nobody. What do I know? I want to know what you think. Let me know if this evidence sounds logical, if it makes sense to you. And if not, I want to know why. Put it in the comment section, or you can visit me at askmikerock.com. And if you enjoy the content, if you're at least intrigued by the content, do me a huge favor so that we can grow and ask more questions like this by hitting the like, subscribe, and follow button. And I will promise to get that information to you as soon as humanly possible. I will see you guys again in the next video. Peace.